Yes, I give thanks. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. You already know. But give thanks to the Most High. Give thanks to the ancestors. Give thanks to your angelic guides or your guardian angels or whatever you call the forces that watch over you. You already know. This is Black Sun. This is another presentation brought to you today by Crystal Delphia. There's a lot of people claiming to be indigenous ones. They wear fez and they pull out paperwork. They pull out paperworks and cards and they look real fancy. I'm not taking away from any of that, but today I'm going to show you some indigenous culture still being kept today. In today's time, you know, a lot of people, they want to dress how the indigenous ones dressed and wear the garbs and the feathers and the fezzes that the indigenous ones wore back in the day. That's fine to keep the culture. But we must keep the culture alive and still live in the now. The indigenous ones in the now, they wear Timberland boots, fitted caps and scullies. You know, we are constantly changing. But anyway, today I got some gemstones here, refreshing and rejuvenating hair in this stream. See? And I'm gonna try to do this without dropping my phone in the water. And well, I wouldn't be able to bring you this reasoning session. But anyway, excuse me. I got some gemstones here. And what I did was I put them in this little net, this little fishing net. And I sat them here in the stream. Not just to cleanse them, but I'm also doing a little ritual here to gain insight, wisdom, and knowledge from nature. A lot of people like to go to the library, go to books, go to the internet, Google things, and go to YouTube for reference or for information, and that's cool for my researchers. But when you get to a certain level, you want to start collecting insight from nature herself. See? And I reasoned with you guys before about receiving answers about the planet from the planet herself. And there's a lot of questioning at this time about the planet, whether it's round, flat, or holographical. So if you have questions about the shape of the planet or the reality of the planet, go to nature herself. Go to the planet herself. Now, I've said that a million times. But today I thought I would actually come out to nature because when I was reasoning with you guys about that, it was in the winter time, you know, so I didn't want to come bring you out to the snow. So now that summer is here, I will be reasoning with you at nature's altar. Remember, nature is an altar. The things that people place on their altar, like water, greens, stones, herbs, and such, you know, all of these things are already here in nature. The altar that you place in your home is manifesting the nature energy that already exists on the planet. You're just bringing nature to your house, you know. So sometimes it's good to come out to the natural altar and chant and give praise and do whatever rituals that you do to ease your soul and cleanse yourself and get rid of negative and toxic thoughts from your aura field. because we all suffer from having negative thought forms. You can't help it, you know. So we try to exercise our mind to get rid of these negative thought forms. So when you want to woosah your spirit a little bit, it's good to come by some running water, you know. So the ritual I'm doing here with the stones, I place the stones in the stream, in nature, and I am collecting, not only am I cleansing, but I am collecting information, insight, and a whole bunch of other things, you know. So when I deal with these stones, I'm going to be getting answers and clarity straight from Mama Amatu herself. You already know. So in another reasoning session, I will go deeper into that ritual, but I'm just giving you the fundamentals of it so that you can create your own formula. You really don't need mine. You know, the spirit will guide you, and have faith in what your ancestors are telling you to do. You already know. So over here, I got a blue candle lit, a little blue tea candle, some incense. And you know, blue candles are for communication. If you want to communicate with the divine, you want to communicate with your ancestors, you want to communicate with your higher self, or for communication period, dealing with, you know, that third eye and throat chakra, grab you a blue candle. Because, you know, blue candles are for meditation and receiving awareness. You already know. And here, keeping the indigenous culture alive, I got my bow and arrow. You know what I'm saying? Because when the bullets run out, trust me, I got some bow and arrows for you too. You know, I'm never going to run out. Anyway, I just wanted to sound gangster to make sure that you was paying attention. But anyway, for all of those indigenous people talking about them being Native American and all of this other stuff, you know, where's the culture? Where's your bow and arrow? Or are you just pulling out paperwork? It might be a time where they be like, okay, I see your paperwork, I see your card, but that doesn't mean nothing. And for all my Yamasee people, big ups to all of the Yamasee and the family connected to Yamasee, Washita, and etc., etc. We're one big family, the descendant of the so-called Olmecs. Still here. We never went nowhere. You know what I mean? We don't die. We just multiply, baby. But, so, you know, I'm out here. I'm not shooting deers and hurting animals. You know, sometimes it's good to have a little target practice, though, to make sure that you're sharp. You know, that's culture. See? But the average guy in the hood can barely bust a gun straight, so I don't think he could probably shoot a bow and arrow. But anyway, this is to bring that Native American energy. Of course, you know, the Native Americans was here at this stream doing their rituals, so I am harnessing that energy. This is what indigenous people do. So I got the blue candle lit so that I can communicate with the divine and the spirits along this stream. See? See, I gave an offering. There's a little apple over there. Some people put apples and fruit on their altars, so I placed one here for the spirit of the divine. You already know. It's all the same concept, people. I'm just showing you how to do it in nature and not inside your house. You're surrounded by sheetrock. Let's get into the real environment. See, you can see the Native Americans here doing their rituals. Here still, the spirit is still here. See? And if you don't see it, you can feel it. You already know, you are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time. So, for all of my urbanites who live in the concrete jungle, it's good to take a trip to the wilderness. And remember, right now I'm in Shaka Maxim, which they call Philadelphia. And so big up to all my Shaka Maximite and also known as Philadelphian Pennsylvanians. Anyway, to all my Philly people, remember, Philadelphia is in the middle of the woods. All of these urban cities and metropolitan places are built in the middle of the forest. So it's real easy to find you a piece of nature, even if you live inside of the concrete jungle. You know, it's not that far. We have been detached from this. Everyone's staring at the palm of their hand, scrolling through their phone, diddly-daddling on their fucking laptop at Starbucks somewhere, playing with they watches. You know, it's all about technology. And we tend to go to technology for information or insight or whatever. But there's a difference between intellect and enlightenment. See? So grab you a spot in nature, meditate, get in tune with your higher self and your ancestors and whatever you're trying to communicate with. And sometimes we're distracted by the environment of the concrete jungle and the fuckery that comes along with it. See? So, you know, shooting bow and arrows, when you shoot a bow and arrow, it relieves stress. Or, you know, but whatever method that you have to relieve stress, whether it's a cup of wine or partaking in some herbs or whatever, get into your spirit, grab yourself a stream or a pond somewhere, start feeding the turtles, start feeding the wildlife, start feeding the squirrels and the birds, and you will see how you will receive abundance. When you give to nature, nature gives back to you. All we do is take from nature and desecrate the altar that we live on. So, give thanks. Keeping that Yamasee energy alive. You know, Yamasee Native Americans, or what they call Native Americans, were a very rebellious group of indigenous folks, seen? And is a lot of the story of the Yamasee family that has not been told. So, not for just Yamasee, but to all of my Lenape, Shaka Maximites, and all of my indigenous people worldwide. Get thanks, man. And put your goddamn cell phone down and your laptop down after you watch this, of course. And then, you know, put your phone away and just become one with the water, the fire, the earth, the wind, and the space. And find peace within your own space. You already know. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time. Good thanks.